Yo, what's happening? What's happening? Part of my Presence YouTube channel. I want to discuss something very quickly regarding New Year's resolutions. Every year, usually the first week or first week of the year or the last week prior to the new year, there's always a group of people who want to change their life for the better in the new year. Big things are going to happen. Big things that go on. Prosperity, wealth, success, popping bottles, all that good positive stuff is always said through a text or through Instagram post or through a Twitter message or through Facebook, social media. But in order for those things to happen, especially if they didn't happen in the year that's coming to an end, the year that's going to expire, if these things didn't happen previously, then please be careful and understand that things don't magically change. Because that would be a change, right? If you had an okay year and this year's going to be a better year, things don't just get better on their own. It takes a certain type of energy for things to change. And that energy has to come from a difference in the way that you conduct your life. And there's one thing that I just want to bring to your attention. A lot of people, they get stuck in their old ways, in their old habits, and it's hard for them to break out, which is why they keep doing the same thing continuously year after year after year. So in order for you to have a better year than before, in order for you to have a successful year if the previous year was not a success, you gotta break old habits. Okay? And they say it takes about 21 days or 3 weeks to 4 weeks for you to keep doing things repetitiously. I'm talking like T.I. now. Repetitiously, for it to become a habit. Okay? So for example, if you're someone that doesn't wake up on time and has trouble getting up in the morning, if you could get yourself to wake up at a specific time every day, if you can do that for 3 weeks, your body's going to adjust. It's going to become like clockwork, and you won't have any more problems waking up ever again. Now, speaking in absolutes, but the point I'm making is that repetition is what's going to break these habits, and breaking these habits is what's going to get you different results than what you had before. Okay, so that's one thing I want to point out to you. You're going to have to change some of the things that you're doing. Change your old ways in order for you to have different results. So it's very important. It's not just about talking the talk and posting the post and tweeting the tweet. You have to put actions on the ground. Start changing the things that you've done in your life that didn't result in anything that was successful, and making necessary adjustments to make sure you end up where you want to be for the upcoming year. So that's very important. The second thing that you might have to do, or that will benefit you as far as becoming a better version of yourself for the new year or the new decade, you might have to change your surroundings. Whether that means change the area in which you frequent, as far as what you do on the weekends, change your routines. If you always go to a particular store, switch it up. Go to a different store, go to a different hangout. Try to get into a different circle of friends if necessary. If you find that the friends that you currently have are not encouraging enough in your new stance and your new outlook of life, find a group of friends that do support the things that you want to do and your new journey. Okay, start switching things up. Don't get stale in the way that you lived your life. Okay, because again, you want new results, you're going to have to be a new type of person. That doesn't mean that if you're once a great guy or a good guy, or a good-natured guy, that you don't have to become an evil person. But at the same time, you have to understand whatever it was that you were doing, if you weren't content in the results for how many past years based on that particular function or that particular practice that you were doing, if you're not content with it, then it is time to change, switch it up a little bit. Maybe you shouldn't be so nice. Maybe you should be more greedy as far as being more self-serving, because at the end of the day, it is your life. You have to put yourself and your needs and your wants first before anyone else's. Okay, because at the end of the day, if you're not happy with yourself, if your thirst for life is not quenched, then how can you provide someone else with water? It doesn't work that way. Okay, in order for you to have enough water to provide to someone else, your cup must runneth over. And what that means is that you must be living a life of abundance for you to be able to share with other people. So it's always important to put yourself first, if that is the necessary adjustments that has to be made. Okay, now if you're the opposite, if you're a greedy person, you're all for self and you're not getting where you want to be in life, and you're not successful, you're not happy about that, then you got to change. You have to become more caring, more empathetic. You have to become more of a caring person, more of a or less rather of an egotistical person, and learn to provide value in other people's lives. Okay, so you have to switch it up. Whatever that it is that wasn't working before, now it's time to switch it up and see if something else will work. This brings me to a Seinfeld episode. If you guys remember, I love Seinfeld, but there's an episode where George Costanza, which is like the loser character of the show, where he has an epiphany. He decides that, or he realizes that every instinct that he's ever had in his life that he's always followed has gotten him in trouble. It's always worked out horribly for him when he went with his gut feeling, when he followed his urges and his instincts. So he decides that if everything that he's ever done in his life has turned out to be worse, has ended up being to his detriment, then doing the opposite of his urges, doing the opposite of his gut feelings, doing the opposite of the things that he once did before must result in success, right? And what happened? After he came to that epiphany and decided to, take this theory and to put it into practice, he started seeing results. He started seeing success. And before you knew it, he realized that this was the truth. If I do everything against my better judgment, I will find success. Now again, that is obviously a comedy show. It's extreme. It's an extreme case, but the point is the same. If there's something that you've been doing that's never resulted in any success, then maybe it's time to do something different and do the opposite and see where that takes you. Okay? When people try to offer you different challenges, different roles at work, if a friend is trying to give you an opportunity, if you're being invited to go out to do something you normally wouldn't do or is not your type of vibe, maybe you should try it. Give it a try. See what it's about. You might end up liking it. You might actually gravitate towards it. You might meet someone who will be very valuable in your life. Okay, so see what's out there. Don't be afraid to try things that are new, because it could actually be to your benefit. The last thing that I think will help you throughout the course of this 2020 year on your road to finding improvement, success, prosperity in 2020 is to mind your time. Mind your time wisely, okay? Keep this in mind. No matter who you are in this world, whether you're rich, poor, affluent, wealthy, or homeless, no matter what, whether you're an insect, whether you're a rodent, whether you're a mammal, it doesn't matter. We all have the same 24 hours in the day. And the ones who get further in life, the ones who are successful, are the ones who use their time wisely. Okay, because we all have the same hours in the day. So explain to me how someone could accomplish so much, be so productive in their life, but another person gets nowhere, procrastinates, gets 10% of what he wanted to get done in that day completed. This is very important because you'll find that the most productive people become the most successful people. And the least productive people are the least successful. That's just facts. And you'll see that. And there's one thing I remember when I was in school. I was in school in college, and my professor said to me, the most creative people aren't in creative industries. I switched it up. I'm making it vague for a reason. But she said to me, the most creative people are not in creative industries. And I had no idea what she meant by that. I thought she was foolish. I'm in this program to become a creative. How could you tell me that the most creative people are not in this industry? It made no sense. But as I continued in the program, I realized exactly what she meant. What she meant was that the people who become successful in this industry are the people who can get their work done on time, can meet deadlines, follow instructions, work well with other people, good team players. All of these other type of skills other than raw talent and being a raw creative person. Because yeah, that does matter, but I'll tell you this right now, the employer or your client will take a project that's done on time before a project that's amazing that's a week late, that's a day late, okay? Because that costs money. So it's very important in 2020 that you make the most of your time. Everybody has 24 hours in a day. Look at other people who are successful. Look at their itinerary and their schedule for the day. See how much they actually could fit in, and ask yourself why you can't do the exact same thing. Okay, this is very important. And on that note, I want to add to it, in 2020 and every year after that, you should be trying to learn a new skill or learn something new every year. That's very important, because I'll tell you this, one of the things that I realized back then when I was 20s, when I graduated, I thought to myself, I'm never going to go back to school again. I'm too old. It made no sense. Got to my 30s. I could have got how many degrees within that time period? 10 years. I could have got how many degrees in that period of time? You know, get to my 30s. I'm too old to learn. So why bother going to school? Why bother taking up a new skill? You get to the point where you end up being in your 50s, and all that time has passed you by. All those decades passed you by, and you have no skills to rely on. Nothing in the trades. No skills in technology. Nothing in STEM. You don't play an instrument. You're not good with your hands. You can't dribble a ball. All these different things that you could have acquired, all of these skills that you could have acquired, you didn't, because you didn't use your time wisely. Okay? You're going to be older a lot longer than you're going to be younger. Okay? So every year, it's very important that you get yourself into some type of schooling so that you get a chance to learn something. Learn how to make a website. Learn coding. You know, learn the piano. It doesn't have to be something where you go back to school and pay thousands of dollars and get an accreditation. It could be a simple skill that you could do around the house. Learn some trade work. You know how to tile, painting, switch a light bulb, whatever the case may be. Learn a new skill. How to change a tire, change your oil. Whatever it is, use that time wisely. Gain a new skill every year. Find out what it is that I can learn and what would be a benefit to me to have this particular knowledge. And go out there and seek it. It might not cost you a thing. There are a lot of free courses that you could take. YouTube University is great as well too. The point I'm making is that you never get too old to learn something new. So keep being inquisitive. Keep being someone who has a thirst for knowledge, because that should never go away no matter how old you are. Okay, and having said all of this, I wish you all the best in 2020 and this new decade. Take it one day at a time, 1 hour at a time. Don't let any minutes go to waste. Do what you can now. Don't procrastinate. And be the best version of yourself that you could be. Now, on that note, I'm out. I got things to do. I'm going to use my time wisely myself right now. Part of my presence YouTube channel. Till next time, peace.